Welcome, bronies, to the FOB Equestria Podcast, the official podcast of FOB Equestria, taking place on our TeamSpeak server, because I figure I should promote that thing. Yes, our TeamSpeak server. If you want to know how to access it, I recommend going to our site, fobequestria.com, doing a search for TeamSpeak in the little search bar on the right-hand side, and you will find it. It is a post titled, Communication is Magic. Yeah, instructions there. But this week, we have Josh Scorcher, otherwise known as Commander Firebrand, Navy Brony, otherwise known as Navron, Sonnerhoof, who is just Sonnerhoof, and Dizziest Beef. Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
Everyone said hi at the same time. That was awesome. Exactly.
It's your fault.
I suppose it is. I thought we already established this, though. People say hi in the order they are in the TeamSpeak server, from top to bottom.
You didn't give us time to respond.
We're working on a new, more efficient method to save time.
Efficiency. Because isn't that what the military is about?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Speed, no intensity.
No.
They like to think they're about efficiency, but it never works out that way. Hurry up and wait, whatever you want to call it. So much time is wasted.
Nothing is efficient about nothing's efficient about signing for a pack of pens.
4 times.
Yeah, trust me, Uncle. I work for the government. There's no way they would be that organized.
Yeah. Any government organization is slow. So getting this podcast underway, I guess the first subject we will be discussing is a piece of art that was brought to our attention by Dizziest Beef. And he was initially, how do you want to term it?
I originally said disgusted, and I know I'm gonna get some flack for this.
Yes, it's there will be a link in the description for this. It's a picture inspired by the Iwo Jima flag raising, and it is the main 6 raising an equestrian flag on a hill, and it is so obviously just kind of a parallel, the pony version of that. So Dizzy probably had the most strong feelings against it, so I guess we'll let you say your piece of mind first. Have your emotions changed?
Not really. I mean, I haven't obviously been sitting down thinking to myself, well, my feelings this have changed. I've been staring at it for 4 hours. But I see it and I think most of those Marines went off and died, or, well, like, yeah, pretty much that's just it. They just went off and died in the battle, so I kind of see this insult to their memory. There's certain lines not cross. Even if you are just making a little parody of it, but there's nothing happy about that battle.
I can understand that. I think it kind of falls into not so much like it being done as a parody, but I think just people get involved and attached to the character of the show to the point where it's more of a really personal tribute to them. But then again, it's like also falls under the fact that it's still a TV show, so people that don't really have that same level of devotion to the show or that, general appeal of the characters and their personalities, they're not going to get that, and they're going to see this something that's basically done as nothing more than parody.
Now, Saunter, you pretty much came out against Dizzy on this one and said you didn't see anything wrong with it. And for the record, it's Marines in the picture, and Saunter is a Marine, so.
Yeah, I'm
a Marine
the way
too.
that
You weren't there for the
Yeah, but
discussion.
you're in the band.
Yeah, go on. Go on, just...
You're in the band. Band geek.
I'm sorry. In Josh's defense, I'm also a dink, so it doesn't help me too much, so. Stupid.
Anyway.
Continue.
Yeah, so the thing with me for the image, it doesn't seem insulting to me in any way, in any other way that any of the other images that I've posted on any of the artillery posts or any of the photo manipulations that I've seen haven't really offended me in any way either. Dizzy's explanation that it was insulting to the memory of those guys, it just didn't really ring too much of a bell to me. It didn't have the feeling like it was trying to be insulting or anything like that, or that it was even indirectly trying to be insulting.
And that's my opinion too. It's not trying to insult people, and if you should, it's like you shouldn't feel I don't think you should be offended if it's not trying to insult you.
I mean, there's also the fact of the iconic photograph itself was propagandized a little bit in such a way so that it in and of itself didn't really give tribute to what was happening up there on Mount Suribachi, because first of all, that was the second flag that was raised after somebody saw the first flag and decided to replace it
because it was too small.
Yeah, and at the same time, one of the persons credited for raising the flag was not there, was a different person. When it got back to the States, it was ushered in as this, here was Iwo Jima, this big American victory, and it was there to sell war bonds. So they were kind of monetizing the picture in and of itself for a war effort. And there's also the misconception from the idea of the photograph, like here are the Marines lifting this flag up on Mount Suribachi, but the battle continues for another, I think it was 45 days, and what was it?
Something like that.
I think it was 40,000 or 60,000 American casualties at the end of it. So it's like the story of this photograph in and of itself is so convoluted that you can almost take away your own interpretations. And the Marine Corps has basically symbolized this. It has idolized this photograph to mean this kind of triumph, this kind of endurance, and working into it. I mean, if you go to the actual Iwo Jima memorial, I've been there, and I really couldn't make out any of the faces too well on the memorial. And of course, there's also an extra hand sitting in there, so it's like it's not even at that point. It's not totally even meant to be about the individual persons. It's meant to be this symbol. So when we have a symbol of a symbol, I'm not really seeing that it would be insulting to anybody in any shape or form.
Yeah, I am also familiar with the history of the actual picture and the actual, like you said, the monument and it is kind of, that's kind of the way the public affairs in the military works. And so yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. And at the same time, I understand where Dizzy's coming from. It's just, this is America. You're free to feel however you want to feel about things. But
well, I just want to say for the record, I also find the whole idea that America said, oh, you raised this flag, which has become an American icon, let's make money off of you, just disgusting at the same time.
Yes.
So is there anyone right in my eyes? Probably not.
Yeah, there's still an argument you can make for it. I mean, the whole reason it was monetized was to continue the war effort, to drive the need for federal funds to purchase up weapons and all this other stuff. So
to support the troops.
Even in and of that becomes like a really, it becomes a kind of a paradox. You don't want to. I mean, it's not like somebody was selling this shit to make a. Well, see, but I can't even say that though. Like, yeah, people were getting profits off of the bonds that they were selling, and that the government was using to purchase weapons through defense contracts. So yeah, people were still profiting off of it. But the idea is, I guess, that it's a good cause because you're at war and all this other stuff. So
you're at war.
Yeah. It's a controversial. I mean, everything about it is just kind of controversial, and you just kind of have to go with your principles, I guess, on it.
Yeah, the whole situation seems really convoluted, and I don't technically know if there is one side that's completely right, honestly.
There never
Well, they
is.
also made a movie about it, so you could always watch that.
Flags for Fathers. It's a good movie.
It is. I've seen it.
I
I'm a
like
war
Letters
movie
from
buff.
Iwo a little bit better, but yeah.
Letters from Iwo Jima. You like that one better?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've seen it. I don't know if I like one any more than the other. It's war movies. I kind of like them in general, just inherently. I feel like I don't know why. Probably because I've always identified with the notion of, you know, fighting for something more, fighting to protect something. So I think I've always identified with the military even before joining. So I think that's why I'm such a war movie buff.
You watch
We could
Top
also have
Gun every day, don't you?
I do not watch Top Gun every day, actually. Top Gun isn't even Air Force. Top Gun is Navy.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
what I watch every day.
That is what.
Battleship.
Oh, no. Oh,
gosh.
please,
Oh,
no.
God. Battleship? They fired the pegs. They fired pegs. It's horrible.
Oh, that is a bad mental image, Spangle. I just got, like, they're literally just loading up, like, opening, like, boxes of Battleship, and then just, like, dumping the pegs into the cannons and just firing them.
No, the alien ships fired pegs.
Well, they're both firing
Are you
pegs
fucking
at one
serious?
another.
Yes.
I never saw the movie because I knew how terrible it was and avoided it. But you're being serious? They fired, like,
Yes.
the little plastic.
No,
that is-
their
Why?
ammo looked
Why?
like the pegs. Okay. There was like little missile launcher sort of things, and when you saw them, you're like, "Those are pegs."
Why were they even trying with that movie?
I don't know.
It makes me sad.
Navy.
Why did Liam Neeson get contracted for that?
I don't know. I really don't. I love Liam Neeson. I think he's a great actor, but that was a horrible movie.
He lost a bet.
Did he stop it?
I don't know. I haven't really. Lately, his movies haven't been really good.
His movies, but his acting's always awesome, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand what.
Yeah, if a little, what's the word? Slightly emotionless.
Over the top. Robotic.
Robotic.
find you. I will kill you.
Yeah, it's lately the movies he's been in. It's like Dark Knight Rises. That snow movie. I forgot what it was
Into
called.
the Gray or Gray, whatever it was. I saw
Yeah.
that. I can't remember.
And Taken
Liam
2.
Neeson.exe is top responding.
Taken 2 was okay. It wasn't as good as the first.
Yeah, but why does Taken 2 need to exist?
It doesn't.
I mean, Taken it makes sense that Taken exists, but why would you make a sequel on that?
Because
Yeah,
Why
my
can't it
money.
just
conversations
be
with
the
my
one
coworkers
movie?
about this.
Wait, what?
Because money.
What? Navy, you said you had conversations about your coworkers with this, and also,
No, we had the same
congratulations.
discussion.
Congratulations on successfully starting a flame war.
Yes. No, it was like
Oh, that's always fun.
we just could not get over the fact it's like, okay, Taken 2, retarded concept. It's like, oh no, they're here again. Oh no, they've taken them again.
How do we not see this coming?
Why is everybody always getting taken?
Personally, I like Liam Neeson best in the A-Team movie. It is so over the top with so many explosions
Oh,
and
yeah.
so much ridiculousness. I love
Are you
it.
serious?
I
You know,
love
I
it.
think I think I liked him best in what was it? Chronicles of Narnia.
That was. You mean as Aslan?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah,
that
it
was
was pretty
that
good,
was like
actually.
really good casting.
He
It's like
plays a
Liam
really
Neeson,
good
he's
god.
It's like he's got that gentle voice.
He
and yet-
does.
Yeah, it does have that little like sort of ferocious undertone to it. So I thought that was perfect casting.
I just want to point out, I was screaming at the TV by the time the A-Team was over.
Really?
Nothing about that movie was right.
I know.
No, you
The
can
whole
slow down a
C-130
tank in free fall by firing the cannon. Fact.
The whole C-130 scene, I had to get up and walk around for a little bit to calm down.
It was wrong on several levels. I mean, for the record, Dizzy and myself are both heavily involved in the work that goes on around C-130s, so we know our stuff.
You don't hit condition levers. Those are not the throttles.
Yeah, that. Like I said, so many things wrong with that, and we are completely on a different subject. Which, like I said at the beginning of this podcast,
What was the beginning? What was the beginning topic again?
Iwo Jima.
Yeah, we were on
sorry.
Iwo Jima, and somehow we started talking about war movies, and then Liam Neeson, and we are
Now the
here.
A-Team.
And now the A-Team, and horrible inaccuracies in movies.
Successful derail is successful.
Well, this train never had tracks to begin with. We like to have the illusion, but
Tracks are for losers.
we like to think we have a list of topics to talk about, but it's really just
Organization
an
is for
illusion.
losers.
But that's what makes us endearing.
Yeah, and actually, I would agree. Honestly, it's nice to have genuine conversation rather than, kind of scripted out.
Business. Ponies are serious business.
Totally serious business.
Know it.
But any
So I
more?
guess everyone's given their opinion on the Iwo Jima flag.
I suppose. I
Yep.
mean, unless you wanted to chime in there.
I already did chime in. It's just meh. It's just not the most spectacular piece of artwork I've seen. Didn't really invoke an emotional response. It just seems like, oh look, another thing crossed with ponies.
Yeah,
Well, I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was pretty good quality.
I think for someone that doesn't really know the show and the characters would see it as being very offensive, because if it was the same picture except it was like, say, with the characters of like Family Guy, I'd be like, what the hell?
What the hell? I
I
suppose that's fair
actually wouldn't
enough.
give a shit even then.
That probably actually exists.
It probably
Well,
does.
if I saw that, I'd probably just roll my eyes.
Yeah, me too. But actually, Dizzy, so seeing as you were disgusted by this, I take it you haven't seen the one where it's the actual Iwo Jima picture and Rainbow Dash is photoshopped into it. You probably haven't seen that one, have you?
Okay, that
No,
one
I
I rolled
haven't.
my eyes to.
See, that one is so old, I don't even know where I could find that. But yeah,
Google is your
Pretty
friend.
sure I posted it on an artillery post.
at some point, probably. But that one is way old. Super old, like ancient brony history at this point.
Come on, I became a brony in the middle of season 1.
You are
The youngest one here, probably.
I came in at the end of season 1.
I
So,
came in at
Yeah,
Luna
in between
Eclipse.
1 and 2.
There we go. So wait, Luna. Oh, So Josh joined the fandom a bit into season 2. Then okay.
Like right when season 2 started.
I think since I joined, yeah. Never mind. We not relevant. I completely lost what I was gonna say something important, but then I forgot.
Nothing you say is important.
You were gonna
Well-
go to the next topic, maybe?
No,
Next
not
song.
necessarily, but we can go to the next topic now.
Sounds like a good idea.
It does sound like a good idea. So, kind of brought to our attention by Saunterhoof. Apparently, fan fiction getting published on Amazon might become a thing. You can actually go on Amazon and buy fan fiction. That might become a thing. So, okay.
I have mixed feelings about this. I mean, on one hand, yeah, it's kind of good to see that fanfiction is an actual... I do believe that fanfiction is an actual legitimate art form because there's a lot of really great fanfiction out there. A lot of well-written stuff, a lot of well-written funny stuff, a lot of well-written dramatic stuff, a lot of well-written sad stuff. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and some stuff that's better than things that actually get published. 50 Shades.
Okay, actually,
what?
The Hunger
50
Games.
Shades.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Anyways, on the other
Are you
hand,
aware, Josh? I do have to interject. Are you aware 50 Shades of Grey started out as a fan fiction and then was altered?
Yes, I am aware
Okay.
of that. It started out as Twilight fanfiction, which
Yes.
makes it all the more disturbing.
Yes, it does. It's horrible. But
love
go
that.
on. Sorry to interrupt.
So on the other hand, there's just a lot of legal issues that need to be worked around this.
Yes. Okay. So I'll elaborate a little more and stop stuttering here. So Amazon, from my understanding, Sonnerhoof brought this to our attention via a different podcast. I think it's referred to as like the Q podcast or something, right?
Yeah, it's Q on. I listened to it on NPR, but it's broadcast from some sort of Canadian public television system, and Josh, you were alluding to 50 Shades of Grey. They were talking about this to the author of 50 Shades of
Right.
Grey and how Amazon was going to work this in, all this other stuff, and what her opinion was on and all this other stuff. So,
Yes, and I actually found myself agreeing with her opinion because the way it sounds like it's going to work is Amazon will gain the rights from a specific book franchise or a specific publisher to allow the sale of fan fiction from these book series. But the catch-22 is if you give your work to Amazon, you basically lose all creative rights. You can't share it with anyone. You have no entitlement to the characters. Actually, any original characters you come up with become property of the original series. And not only that, the royalties you get are far below the royalties that a normal author gets for their work, which is kind of understandable to an extent, considering fan fiction is not 100% your own work. But personally, that would be my big drawback to this whole thing is you just lose pretty much all creative licensing for your work.
Yeah, it was like 15% of the profits would be kept rather than 30% of the profits would be kept by the original author for Amazon publishing it or something like that. So it would get slashed in half. So that it's a pretty.
I can't remember the actual
significant
percents,
cut.
but it was a very significant cut, and I see the good from this. Like Josh was pointing out, it's legitimizing fan fiction as a valid art form, and the author of 50 Shades of Grey, she clearly said that she thinks it's a legitimate art form, and a lot of writers kind of get their start from kind of toying around with fan fiction before writing their own work. So it's not to say fan fiction is a lesser form of art, and it's nice to see it's getting some recognition, but at the same time, at what cost?
And as an example of the kind of creative loss that somebody would have, let's say I write a fan fiction for My Little Pony, and I introduce a character named Saunterhoof, and somehow he now becomes an intrinsic part of the canon of My Little Pony and Equestria and everything else, and I publish my book through Amazon, and it gets approved by Amazon to actually get published. They have explicit rules of we won't accept certain things to publish, and then it also gets approved by Hasbro. Well, if Hasbro ever writes an episode for My Little Pony that includes Saunterhoof in it, it's not my creation anymore, and they get all the rights, and I don't get like royalties or anything else, and it just becomes kind of their property. So it's a pretty significant loss.
Right. So if this does become a thing with Amazon and you are a fan fiction writer, I would say only submit your stuff if you're willing to surrender those rights, unless they change their terms.
It's basically you got to be willing to give up your babies.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm looking at UK Cat. I want Fallout Equestria in my hand.
I thought Fallout Equestria was already hard copy published or something like that.
It was, but I missed it. That was like 2 years ago.
Oh. Really? Was it that long?
I don't
Well,
think so. I think it
They
was
Maybe
did
a
a second
year.
reprint, I believe, somewhere in 2012, but I don't know when the first run was.
Okay.
I
Well,
think it was somewhere in 2011.
possible.
I'm by that.
Yeah, I would too. But yeah, it's...
Your old Spangle,
why do
get
you
over
need...
it.
Why do you... I'm not that old. I'm only 23. Sheesh.
You're older than me.
Not... We aren't having an age competition. So...
I'm a year older than you.
I'm just... Yes. I approve of your show quote.
Except maybe
Reactor
next time,
3.
don't say it quite as creepily.
Yeah.
Even more
I'm sorry.
creepily.
Anyway,
I'm a year older than you.
so I'm just kind of curious, Dizzy, why you are not satisfied with the electronic version, why you want to have a hard copy.
It's not that I think that Fallout Equestria is one of my favorite fan fictions ever, and I just want a personal physical copy because I can. That way I can go back and reread it and be like, hey, I've got this book. It's fan fiction. It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
I think wasn't Fallout Equestria already being sold?
We
Covered this already.
Yeah, we briefly talked about this. about how there was
Yeah.
their initial print, and there was like a second printing round, and currently you cannot obtain a hard copy.
They're not doing it again.
They aren't doing it. They have stated they aren't going to do it again, or
They have
haven't
basically
done it?
stated that unless at the time I looked through their forum because I actually did have a whole forum dedicated to printing FOB Equestria specifically. They said that in order to print another series, they'd need an insane amount of people to back it to cover the cost of it, and that's just not practical anymore.
Okay, so
They've already done two. They're not going to do a third.
okay. I suppose
It's a
that's
shame.
yeah, it is kind of a shame. I still haven't read Fallout Equestria, which Dizzy, you hate me for, don't you?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's funny though because your review, which was recently posted, yay for plugging, did a horror. Well, I shouldn't say. You were a bit harsh, but you're always kind of harsh in your reviews. So
But
it's
like I say, it's still one of my favorite fan fictions I've ever read. If
yeah.
not my favorite, apart from Past Sins, which I'm still working on getting a physical copy.
They have
Equestria
physical
Publications that ever get that.
They have physical copies of Past Sins as well.
They're working on it. Kind of had a system going where they would get all the money through PayPal, and then they go print it and then ship them out. But then PayPal said, "Well, we can't collect and give you this money until you actually have a physical product in hand." And they're like, "Well, shit."
Oh, PayPal being all PayPal.
Dick move has PayPal. Dick
So-
move.
I guess while we're briefly on the subject, there will be event very shortly now because I am dedicated to working on this week and getting it out. But if you are at all curious of what we've done reviews of in terms of fan fiction on our site, I will be putting together a page with a list of every review that we have done up until this point, and I will be updating it as we publish more reviews. And hopefully we will have a staff story recon post, which okay, a little bit of explanation here. As you may or may not be aware, some of the members of the FOB staff do their own fan fiction writing. If you follow fan fiction on Equestria Daily at all, you might have noticed Jake the Armory Guy, also known as Tweak on our staff, had a significant feature there. So,
Got
rather-
two extra. Well, no, never mind. I lied.
liar. So, rather
Oh wait,
than
no, I didn't lie. I didn't lie completely.
So, given that there is the possibility for bias if we review our own fics, and it would also at the same time kind of take up several posts to review the fics written among the staff, rather than do that, if you're at all curious, I am putting together a staff story recon post which lists everyone in the FOB who writes and what they are writing. So there is, like I said, if you want to know what's going on there, just be on the lookout. That will also be coming out, and that will be updated once the initial volume is published. That will be updated monthly, every month or 2 months, depending on how active writing activity is within the FOB. I will not make a new post if nothing new has been published by FOB members, is what I'm getting at. So, yes, fanfiction becoming a legitimate, recognized art form. Followed Equestria, apparently the best fic ever written, and FOB Equestria doing stuff in the literature division. Good times.
Yeah, you need to read Fallout Equestria.
I thought you did.
I'm
I
never
said
going to
you
read
do.
Fallout Equestria. Too
think-
long.
That's what I thought. I was like, man,
It's only
I can probably stretch this out
3/4
an
of a
entire
million
month.
words.
And I read it in 5 days.
Okay, wait, you said... I'm confused right now. Navy, you said you needed to read Fallout Equestria.
No, I said you need to read
Oh, okay.
Fallout Equestria.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I kind of do. I also kind of need to read Past Sins. Now, I have read
What?
My Little Dashie. I've read My Little Dashie. I've read Anthropology. I've not read Background Pony. We're just getting all this out of the way right now. Clearing the
Haven't read Background Pony either.
I have not
Little
read
Dashie
some
isn't
of
even
them.
that good.
Yeah, that's kind
Either
of
I
those
a...
know.
stories
That's like
are
one of
that
my.
good.
That was like my first review that I posted on the site.
Yeah, it's kind of unanimously agreed among the FOB staff that My Little Dashie isn't bad, but it's not great. It's not as awesome as everyone totes it around as. So
I
I'm
didn't
not going to
cry.
be getting a physical copy of that story.
you will not be getting a physical copy of that story. I didn't cry either. I have to say.
I almost
I cried
did.
for how cliche it was.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, no.
That's a
Whoa.
low blow.
that's
I approve.
harsh. Dizzy approves because he's a cynical monster.
I prefer the term dick bag.
I was trying to be a bit nicer about it.
It is so noted.
Indeed. I try to be nice to everyone, which I apparently discovered was my personality type in a recent personality test.
Or flaw.
But
What pony is that?
I don't know if that's a pony. And it's not really, it's not so much I try to be nice to everyone, it's I try to be considerate of others, more or less. Considerate of how
That
things
nonsense.
affect. Yeah. Anyway, needless to say, I am not autistic. Okay. Oh, I cannot believe I went there.
What?
By what I mean is, gosh,
You walked right into that.
I
one.
did.
Discuss this.
No, that was horrible. I should just shoot myself right now.
There's
Jump
magic
out the window.
in
I'm on the
editing
second
programs.
floor. I'm on the second story in this
Who would
apartment. I
we
should
laugh at if you committed suicide?
just. What?
What?
Who would we
What?
laugh at if you committed suicide?
Oh. Oh my. I instantly.
I've jumped 2 stories though. It's okay. You can manage it if you roll.
Not if I go head first.
Well, see,
You gotta be
that's not-
drunk when you do it. That way your body's relaxed when you hit the ground.
God.
That way
Harry, if you
can
live
do
grenades.
a face plant from third.
I did not mean to be as. When I said that, I did not mean for it to sound as horrible as it sounded. So I apologize profusely.
It wasn't as horrible. It was just completely freaking random.
Well, it was random for you, but there was a conversation being had before this podcast, which is why Navy Brony said we talked about this.
Yep.
Anyway, time to recover and move on to something that is still horrible. So, in the Skype chat, in the FOB Equestria Skype chat, there was an interesting little conversation that was had.
Oh God.
Oh God, Sandra knows exactly where this is going.
This is gonna be one
the
of those
reason why I don't
dark
pay attention
podcasts
to
we don't
the
refer
podcast.
to
No,
from now on, is it?
This is no. The problem is there's so many of these conversations. I don't even know which one you're referring to.
Fair enough. So Mache came on to the
Oh,
the
this
chat.
conversation.
Yes, came onto the chat room this week. Quite upset about how many horrible OCs are in the fandom, and said, "You know what? Screw it all. I'm going to write a fan fiction featuring everyone's OC on the FOB staff, turn them into alicorns, ship them with the main 6 or whatever pony of their choice, and just kind of go with it from there." And it got progressively horrible. Sandra, what happened? You said, what did you say to ship your OC with? It was something like along the lines of like a fork in a toaster or something.
Tom.
No, I refused to be shipped, and he was like, "Well, I'm just gonna ship you with whoever I feel like." And I don't remember what the hell he said. I think it was.
No, he said you
I'm
refused to
pretty
be
sure
shipped.
it was a pony.
You're
He said
pretty
you-
sure.
You said
was
you refused to
Discord.
be shipped with everyone, and I said, well, someone's got to
Oh,
be shipped
yeah.
with Discord. He's like, you volunteered.
Oh yes, it was Discord. That was right.
Very well.
Yeah, it was the worst idea for a fic I've ever heard. And he seemed,
I've
Like-
heard worse.
well, fair enough, I suppose.
Well, the chat did just cover a random, terrible fan fiction generator, just like yesterday or something like that.
Oh my
Apparently
God.
You go to this website and you hit, I guess, some sort of start button, and it gives you A cross with B, and a plot line must involve C. So it'd be like, you will write a fan fiction that involves Trixie crossed with
A pine cone?
Satan. No, Trixie crossed with Satan, and a major plot device must be a rock concert.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like a
Go.
It sounds like a
could do
blend
it.
between like Mad Libs and Kuehl Theory.
I think it is something like that.
Cards
yeah.
Against Humanity. That's what it reminds me of.
Crimes against humanity. That might be a little extreme.
I don't do anything that's not extreme.
Oh my gosh, I found that idea generator. My challenge is to write crossover fan fiction combining Rocky Horror Picture Show and Fluttershy. The story should use terrorism as a plot device.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh my! I don't
Good
think
choices, sir.
I don't want to provide the link to this. There's already enough bad
I-
fan fiction.
I'm
Just-
looking this up.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, Fluttershy, and terrorism.
I absolutely refuse to feature this. I absolutely refuse to provide that link in the description.
Sweet transvestite
Oh
from
god!
transsexual Transylvania.
Just
Thanks. That's gonna help our reputation right there.
What? Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that song.
oh my lord! Just
Actually, I don't. Actually,
Navy Brunian is playing stuff through the TeamSpeak.
don't play anymore. We'll have to royalties.
Oh yes. Okay, so are we?
I just imagine some of the ponies singing that song. Oh gosh.
Probably PMV.
You're breaking me. You are
the search.
literally breaking my mind at this point. I
It's not
don't.
hard to do.
This is gonna show up in Extria Girls or some shit.
Whoa. Yeah, it's like I've kind of grown a little more optimistic of that.
I really don't
Yeah.
care.
It exists.
What? What exists? What did you just provide?
A PMV of Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
God damn it,
Oh, it does
Brody!
exist.
Why are you doing this?
I can't watch it because that would come across through the speakers horribly and absolutely drown out everything.
I'm watching it.
So you guys can talk about it. I'll just have to be, unknowledgeable and say ignorant things. I was tempted
This
to
is
say
supposed
something else.
to win.
As opposed to all the time. I try to be informed when I say things. And if I'm not informed, I state when I am making opinions and not facts. Wait, there was a...
I just want to put this out there that I still think Mac is best Alicorn princess.
All right, your challenge is to write crossover fanfiction combining Cutie My Crusaders and World War II. The story should use evil characters becoming good as a plot device.
That
Evil
doesn't
kid?
sound that
Okay,
hard.
can I get a link
Oh.
to this? I want to play around with this.
Okay. Since it has been talked about so extensively, I guess I have to provide the link in the description for this.
Thank you,
Google
Skype
it.
chat.
Anyone else got a link?
By which I mean,
Please?
don't thank yourselves and I hate you all.
Can someone put it in the podcast
Yes,
link
you,
here?
Mono.
I mean, the podcast chat here on the server, so I have easy access to it. I mean, I know I'm on Skype, but those are on two different computers. Obey me!
Problem.
No one is listening. It's horrible.
one
No,
ever
I'm just
listens.
ignoring you now.
Oh. But Navy, I thought you loved me.
But
I'm just
love
kidding.
You.
I'm just kidding. That's Mache. And he loves me in disturbing ways. We've previously found this out.
Jay loves everyone though. He's like Silvermane. Silvermane loves everyone.
No, see, Silvermane loves everyone in like a grandfatherly sense. Mache loves everyone in like a very creepy I don't even know sense.
If I described the true nature of his love, I'd probably get thrown off the podcast.
Possibly.
Spangle, you thought I loved you.
I lied.
What is that from? Oh wait, that's Arnold.
Take it.
Arnold. Arnold, no. That is my Arnold impression. Congratulations. Anyway, so no one's seriously gonna give me this link, are they?
I just posted it.
I asked
I
for it
don't
in the
see it.
TeamSpeak server, not Skype.
I did put
It's
it
in the TeamSpeak server.
Oh, you didn't put it in the podcast chat in the TeamSpeak server.
Click on the little thing that says
Put it-
Spangle server.
Okay.
I know.
Something you should probably be familiar with.
Well, I'm just so used to people posting links in the chat of the channel they're in. I already clicked it, Josh. You didn't have to
Unprofessional.
repost it. Yes, you are. You're. Well, yes. I'm just gonna
He's
leave
a
it at that.
professional.
He makes a decent amount of money off YouTube while being employed by the military. So yeah,
Yes.
I would like to have as many subscribers as he has, but alas, I am forever to suffer in obscurity.
Actually, funny thing is that I don't get my money from my My Little Pony reviews and my countdowns. My money actually comes from my my vlogs.
Really? So people care more about who you are.
Actually, the money comes from my vlogs because it's that those are because of I don't own the things that I'm commenting on in the video game stuff, and there's just a whole bunch of copyright Nazis that want a piece of me. So the vlogs are really the only thing that's giving me money right now.
Oh,
Cough,
What are you
cough,
talking about, copyright
Hasbro, cough,
issues?
cough.
Actually, it's German it's the
It's
German
German
My Little
Hasbro.
Pony that's been going after me.
we've had this discussion on a previous
Wow.
podcast. So
Yeah.
literal copyright Nazis. Although we also had that discussion of Nazis are no
Oh.
longer exclusive to Germany.
Jeez, that's like
Wow.
when, what was that? Well, crap, what's that series? Friendship is Witchcraft. It got a cease and desist letter from Dole.
Dole.
Yeah,
Dole.
you hear about that?
Dole.
No. That was made up. They were making fun of the actual cease and desist letters
Okay.
they got.
Okay,
That's
Okay.
why they pretended that all their apples had to be copyrighted and all that other crap. They were just mocking.
Bots and apples.
that's hilarious.
apples.
That is hilarious.
Buy some cum once.
Copywriting with Xbox One efficiency.
See, I don't. If my channel ever takes off with its current content, that is, I shouldn't have copyright issues because World of Tanks, which is the game I play on my channel, has come out and stated you are free to make money off of videos of your gameplay. And they have made it very easy for people to promote their game. It's free advertising. Why wouldn't you? That's one thing I've never gotten with how strict some copyright laws are and how some organizations really try to take down so many videos, which are really just providing free advertising for their stuff.
I
The
see the
whole
logic
pony
behind
fandom
it.
wouldn't have even happened if it wasn't for all the episodes being up on YouTube.
Yep, true. Well, I don't know if that's
I like
100%.
how Hasbro half-assed it and decided, okay, we'll only show this season and we'll just copyright block the region for the last 2 seasons.
True.
Yeah. Hasbro has been a little more lax than other organizations, actually. So
Yeah.
it's they don't hate us.
Honestly, I really think we should be giving Hasbro a break. But even though that sounds very hypocritical because I've been taking a lot of shots at them for ruining my videos. But the thing is that I can't really blame them.
You
At
can't.
the bottom, at the end of the day, they have a legal necessity
can.
to absolutely defend their copyright. Otherwise, they would lose it, and
Yes.
that is something they will not accept. So,
This is true.
So
And
in
Hasbro
the end,
spelled
their stuff
backwards.
is more important than mine. And to be honest, it's like if I get more ponies at the expense of some of my videos, then okay, that's that.
I'm just gonna go to Daily Motion.
There's that.
Wow.
Maybe. What? So you're gonna say something about Hasbro? Maybe. I'm kind of curious.
I was saying, and Hasbro spelled backwards is Orbsa. That's pretty much it.
Oh my God! It all makes sense. They're part of the Illuminati.
My God.
That's some Da Vinci Code shit right there.
They've been taken.
Oh,
Again.
I don't know
Again.
but I will find you. And I will kill you.
I will find you. Block your region.
Again.
again. Copyright too.
We should really move on.
Yeah, we should. Okay, moving
They
on.
want to have a not morbidly depressing topic to discuss.
I suppose we do. So moving on to something less morbid, apparently, is one of our community members has brought to my attention a YouTube channel they're trying to get up and running called YouPonify, which they want to become kind of a central hub for a lot of Brony videos, kind of your one-stop shop almost, where if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll get a lot of varying pony content videos and music from different sort of creative artists and stuff. And they said they're gonna do their best to not really, they aren't going to exclude the more known names, the more famous people, but they're going to definitely shine a spotlight on some of the people who are up and coming, who have not really much of a reputation to speak of, if at all. And it seems like a really a big idea, which I don't know if they'll be able to pull off, but I gotta give them props for at least trying it. It's something that would be kind of interesting to have, you know, instead of being subscribed to a bunch of different channels, just have one channel that gives you a wide variety of pony content. So I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that idea.
I assume that's kind of how Machinima got their start, so all things are possible.
Yeah, actually, I did not draw that parallel. That does seem like a very similar idea to Machinima. Huh. Anyone else have thoughts on that? Besides just Dizzy?
I have no objections.
Negative. Wow. You guys are, like, so unopinionated on this subject, but opinionated about everything else.
Yes.
Way more opinionated.
Way more opinionated. And apparently.
Oh,
But-
the fun we have.
Honestly, I would like to see if this actually catches on, if this has any sort of, you know, potential. I think it certainly has the possibility, but we shall see. I will provide a link to the YouPonify channel in the description as well to just see what exactly happens. But anyway, Saunterhoof wants to talk about some things, so I'll let him talk about some things. Do your thing. Saunter?
He wasn't prepared.
He was not
He
prepared.
was not prepared for this.
I would.
That's the name of a My Little Pony,
Pony
song.
song.
I get the joke.
That was your cue. You were supposed to start singing.
I
I
was actually
Well,
thinking of
the thing-
Anchorman.
no.
I accidentally didn't hit the F4 button, so that's the other thing. I'm doing the push talk thing. But yeah, I could. I was gonna say that GTR Blackhawk has been working on trying to get a Dust 514 mercenary group set up, or I should say a corporation set up for FOB Equestria. So anybody who's still playing on PlayStation 3 or is interested in that game, we're probably going to start trying to get into an expanded role. It should be interesting if we could actually get it into a viable mercenary organization to screw with all the regular EVE Online players. In addition to that, I know that we've also got a couple new additions into our forum. We just got our first no-shit legit drill instructor from MCRD San Diego, who just joined.
So that makes
we also
two.
got our
Well,
Yeah.
Tweak's not a drill instructor, but
Yes,
Drill
he's a
sergeant.
sergeant.
So at least those two. I would love to see those two get into an argument, or just berate someone. We'll have
That would be
we'll have
awesome.
a FOB shark attack.
the
If that's
fob
the case,
shark.
then I really, really would not feel sorry for anybody that would show up to BrodyCon in uniform.
Oh.
Actually, I'd beg
Especially,
them to do it just so I
especially
could
after
take
last.
that.
I've actually got a speech rehearsed for if I find a person in uniform.
Really?
Yes.
I'm just going to leave
He
it to
does
Tweak.
this.
I'm going to leave it to
If he-
Tweak, and apparently this Marine drill instructor now. So, I'll leave it to them.
If
Well,
they
we
do
also got
this,
our
I
first,
want video. I want video.
Well, I really want there to be video. We also got our first Scottish bronies. Well, not our first British brony, but one of the more first active members from England, and our first Scottish brony. So that's pretty cool that we're beginning to diversify a little bit more into the British Isles. which for some reason has just
First
I don't know what
United
the deal is with
Kingdom,
the British
and then the
Isles.
world.
been.
Sorry, whenever
just been
someone
really
says Scottish, I
quiet.
automatically think the demo man from Team Fortress 2.
What
I
makes
usually
me
think
a
of
good
Groundskeeper
demo
Willie.
mod?
What?
Who's that
That was
question
used.
directed towards?
You have to understand, when two people talk at once, you usually can't understand either of them.
Yep.
Oh, what fun is there in making sense?
I was just saying that I think of Groundskeeper Willie usually.
Yes, but I agree. I kind of like the fact that we're diversifying less. Well, not less, but no longer just only
America.
America. Yeah.
The word is more, Spangle. More.
Yes.
More.
More members from around the world.
more.
The best
Yes.
kind of more.
More.
But that's kind of more.
And then
a
there's the worst-
properly spelled one.
Yeah. Then there's the worst kind of more, which involves planes. Dizzy, you know what I'm talking about.
Involves what now?
Planes.
Well, yeah, I kind of see that.
What? You don't think that's the worst kind of more?
I've got 8 planes at my base. That's not exactly a lot.
Oh yeah. Then you have my base where we have, oh lord, so many.
The largest C-130 base in the world.
Yes, I know. I'm aware. So when they're like, go out there and moor those planes, I'm just like, no.
Oh, you're saying like more and like chaining them down?
Yes.
Oh my, that sucks.
Yes, thank you.
Why are you using Navy terminology for the Air Force?
Ask the Air Force. I am just an enlisted man. I don't know these things.
You guys secure buildings too?
Secure buildings?
Do you guys secure buildings or secure
Oh,
certain things?
Secure windows.
secure,
doors,
yes.
hatches.
That term
The
is
tools
used.
on the aircraft are worth more than your very soul.
Apparently.
That counts.
Yeah, but okay, Dizzy, you're lucky to even have tools on your aircraft because we have to wheel our tools around everywhere we go. All your planes.
30s in the fleet with toolboxes on the planes.
I know you have it so easy.
It is the best idea ever.
It's a great idea.
What?
I just wish we had
Why
it.
does my
So
Why does
sorry.
my 7-ton have an axe in it? Anyone know?
Wait.
What?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
7-ton truck.
Your 7-ton truck has an axe in it.
Yes. For the equipment.
No
What?
idea what you're talking about.
He's talking about something marine focused, I'm betting.
Well, 7-ton trucks are just 7 tons. They're everywhere. They can be in any branch, pretty much.
I don't
So what's the
drive
point
those.
of your
Trucks.
statement?
I'm a flight line
Oh,
guy.
never mind.
I
You
don't
fix
somebody else
planes.
here would-
You don't speak marine.
I don't speak. I don't know what I don't. I don't know what I do and don't speak at this point. I am so confused. So I'm
I'm just
sorry.
a young senior airman. I do as I'm told.
Anyway, sorry, Santo, re-interrupted you. Did you have anything more to say?
No, not really, no.
Not really. Okay, I'll talk a bit about a random subject. DJing. Navy Brony kind of knows a bit about this because I asked him for a bit of advice, which he wasn't around to give. Nothing to say on that, huh?
No, I'm confused as to why
I'm sorry.
my
I
antivirus
cannot believe
program
I choked
decided
in the
to
middle of my
say.
joke.
Your antivirus.
Yes,
We're all
I'm basically trying to shred some files in my recycling bin using a program that I've been using for the past, 8 years for cleaning up my PC, and all of a sudden my AVG is saying that program is now a threat, so I'm like, what the hell?
That's a little weird.
The
So-
AVG is not a good program. All you need is Windows Security
True.
Essentials. It's free, man.
No.
It's like the
No.
one program
I use
Microsoft
AVG.
put out that does not suck.
I used to just not use any virus protection, and that got really, really bad.
I was gonna say, how'd that work for you?
It took me like 4 years, but yeah, it eventually gave me a really, really bad virus.
That's why
That's
you
what I was
don't download porn.
No, it's not that you gotta worry about. It's the freaking, it's the random, a threat has been detected. Click here to fix. and it looks exactly like the program that you're using.
Oh boy.
And then you click on it, and then it installs a bunch of crap on your computer.
That's, yeah.
But, yeah, I digress.
You digress.
DJing, what about it? I don't know too much about DJing.
You DJ a little.
I've played one live performance.
Really? I thought you were... Huh.
Just Spangle massaging his own ego a little bit.
Well, the one thing I'll say is it's I just recently bought. I'm trying to get into DJing, and I just recently bought a controller. For anyone who knows anything about DJing, it is a Newmark NS6. I'm happy with the purchase. I won't say a lot, but I did a decent amount of research looking at the different sort of DJ controllers out there, and I kind of just said, for the price and capability, the Newmark NX6 was what I was looking for, but even that ran me close to $900. So if you're looking into getting into DJing and you think it might be something you want to do, you might want to start saving up money first, just because it is not cheap.
Nope. And then the program that you're going to use, too, is usually at least a couple $100.
Yeah, but a lot of the times, if you buy a controller, like a full control set, it will come
Usually
with
comes with the program.
Yes. So the NS6 comes with Serato Itch, which I kind
It
of...
sounds like a horrible disease.
It kind of does. Honestly, one of my friends is kind of going to hate me for getting the NS6 because he wanted me to get the Tractor controller S4, which uses Tractor, which is a different DJing program, and he loves it, and he wanted me to get the same thing that he had, but I just couldn't do it. I liked the features of the NS6 more, so we might become a little less friendly for a little while, since I apparently have betrayed his trust, or whatever. I don't know. Apparently I betrayed him in some way.
Massaging his own ego, what I tell you.
I suppose you're right, Dizzy. That's all I'm doing. But DJing, yes. I think it's great if you want to take the time to do it and take the financial investment to do it, but I do have to give the word of caution saying, look into what you're getting first, figure out what you want to do, and also recognize that it is a significant financial investment, because even after you get the software and the controller, you're going to probably need to get cords, headphones, speakers, a bunch of other expensive merchandise, and it is not a cheap hobby.
It's also a very time-consuming hobby, too.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of practice to get to a level of DJing where you can actually play a first show.
Yes. I have a few months to try and get there. We'll see if it happens. But anyway, that we're coming pretty close to the hour mark. It's not a minute. I misspoke.
Well, it could be considered an hour minute.
I suppose.
The minute in which becomes an hour.
I suppose that is a fair enough argument. But I still did not say what I intended to, so there's no escaping that. And
There's no escape.
No, there is not. So now is a good time to ask if anyone has any final subjects they want to bring up before we start to call this a close for this week's podcast.
I guess I'll mention that if you check out Equestria Daily, they've been putting forth the new charity donations for the new Seeds of Kindness album that will be coming out probably towards the end of June. So just want to let people know that that's in the works, but they are accepting funds for the charity right now. So go check out EQD, find that post, or I don't know, we can probably just include it, right? People are usually lazy. But yeah, we'll provide a link to the post, and then we'll just head over there, send some money towards the charity. And so far, charity has been doing absolutely awesome. Like, there's pictures you can find that have like everything that the money for the past Seeds of Kindness album has helped create for the people in Uganda. So it's really, really cool seeing your actual efforts realized, through what the charity's actually doing. So check it out.
Yeah, Seeds of Kindness too. That is something that's coming up. I almost forgot about that, and I do appreciate you reminding me. And way to call our listeners lazy. Good job.
Hey, I'm lazy too.
Only the
Just
truth.
saying.
So yeah, we will include the link to their website in the description as well. So if you don't want to go searching through Equestria Daily, we'll provide it for you. And while we're on that subject, the subject of things going on in the community, as far as I know, the website for the Running of the Leaves convention, the convention being held in Colorado this coming fall, end of October, beginning of November timeframe, the website is up and running. So a link for that will be posted.
Pun intended.
Ha ha ha. Actually, no. That was unintentional, but it's an awesome pun nonetheless. You know me, I like puns. Josh, on the other hand, not so much.
Well, he's not very
Yeah,
funny.
not so much.
He's not very punny. Nah.
Shut up.
Shut
I've had
up.
about a dozen ways of killing you, very painfully, involving strangulation to stabbing you in the eyes.
It's not that hard to stab someone in the eyes.
It's more.
He
it's a
just
little
called
more
you out.
painful
What are you
that
gonna
way.
do?
What? What was that? Dizzy?
It's
I understood what you said, Josh. I didn't understand what Dizzy said.
He just called you out. What are you gonna do about it?
Since it's the internet, nothing. This is how things go on the internet. People talk a bunch of trash, but nothing ever happens. Unless they're psychotic.
Called them.
Unless they're psychotic. Oh! Yes. I was just kind of... We're up on the mark, so maybe not. But I was just kind of reminded of your little story, Navy Brony.
What story?
The story of the thing that just happened right before the podcast. The reason why you said, I'll be back in 10 minutes, and you were gone for like 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just like how Saberspark put it in his video on how to deal with trolls. Most people that are trolling you, most of them are just completely normal people. Like, if you actually take the time to actually get to know them, sometimes you'll even make friends with trolls. And sometimes they may stop trolling. Sometimes, you may just be like, hey man, you got me good here. Hey man, you got me good here. But yeah, I'm still gonna be commenting on your videos and calling you a piece of crap. But yeah, I mean, just take the time. Don't think that every single troll is completely out to get you. Sometimes people are legitimately angry at you, and sometimes if you think that they're trolling and they're actually legitimately angry, your attempts to out troll them or your attempts to counter troll them are counterproductive because they're legitimately pissed at you and you're just making it worse. So doesn't hurt
fun to
the
that.
basic. Yeah, there's nothing that really hurts about actually talking to a guy through a private message or something and trying to clear something up. Never know.
Might make a new friend. Good advice. I like it.
Usually I just block them and remove their messages from YouTube. I think I've blocked at least 50 people by now.
Ian,
Scorched earth policy.
yeah. Yours is a bit more of an iron fist policy, Saunter. Which I don't necessarily...
Banhammer.
Yeah, the banhammer. I think there's a reason you're our moderator on the forums. Just a feeling on that one. But yes, I think that's a good note to end this podcast. So, unless anyone else has final words, I'll give you 5 seconds to say something, if you want to say something.
I'm
Something.
just happy to be awake.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, pneumano, ultramicroscopic, silicovolcanoconiosis.
False.
Those are 3 words.
I believe those were 3 words.
Yes, those were.
Yes. Okay. So, no really things to talk about at the end, other than if you have a subject you want us to discuss on the podcast, just send it to fobequestria@gmail.com with the subject line of podcast. And we may or may not talk about it, but we'll be kind enough, courteous enough.
You are.
What was that?
Depending on how wrong they are, we'll discuss it.
We'll be courteous enough to send you a reply email saying, yes, we will discuss it, or no, we will not. We may not explain why, but we will be courteous enough to send you an email letting you know. So, with nothing left to discuss, just...
I've got something.
Oh, you have something now.
We should do the next podcast in calm brevity.
What?
Yes.
I don't
do
even
that.
know what you mean. What?
Neither do I.
Okay.
Okay. Is that
You must not be calm, operators.
I am.
No. For maintenance, we turn wrenches, not knobs.
Ah.
Yeah.
I don't mean like that.
And
I
I'm in the
mean just
band.
radio brevity.
Radio brevity.
Yes. Example.
We can just
Spangle,
go back and forth,
Navron.
Navy.
In podcast. Over.
How about
Say-
no?
Navron
Navron,
Spangle.
say again your last.
Lima Charlie.
Spangle, Navron, interrogative, podcast conclusion.
I am not. There's a reason I'm not calm.
Hey, how about this?
Unless
Let's
I
do the
get a-
entire next review in limerick form.
Oh, no. Wait, we don't do reviews on this, do we? Well, we kind of do sometimes, I suppose.
What? Don't question these things.
Anyway, say your goodbyes.
Bye. B-A-I. Bye.
Navron, over.
Saunter.
It's over and out.
No, it's just out.
I hate
That's
you.
not
all.
what she said.
I.
It's jokes.
Oh, just further establishing how mature and professional we all are. This has been Spangle with the rest of the FOB staff on the FOB Equestria Podcast. Semper Philly.